This is how people be getting on live. They sit there like they don't know they on live, looking. All right, we're gonna see if anybody is gonna get on today, so we can chop it up. Traffic's a little thick. What's up, Cali? What's the weather like out there? Somebody just passed me in a Lincoln, a Mercury Crown Vic. I want to see if I can move the sunny as usual. That's what's up. I want to see if I can capture this. This 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 asshole got a see if traffic gonna slow up. Okay, now he taking off. He got some swangers and a big ass Texas Longhorn on the hood of his car. All right, go ahead, man. Sunny in Cali. It ain't too bad out here today. 59 degrees right now. I just want to talk about something real quick. I don't know if anybody else gonna get on here, but they can catch it when it goes up. But something happened Saturday that I was real proud of, and that's why I wanted to. I call this "Climb That Wall," teaching metaphysics to your children. My oldest daughter is 10, and she's really interested in like metaphysics. She asks deep questions, things that you have to stop and really put some thought into before you answer it. She's curious and she's open-minded, and but one thing is she sometimes lacks confidence in herself. So we all go down to this park Saturday so that the children can play. I'm trying to figure how I'm gonna get over here. No, I ain't getting up on that. And they got this climbing wall down there. Now my next to oldest daughter is just a natural athlete. I mean, both of them are athletic, but my oldest is real tall, so she got long arms. Uh, so she doesn't quite have the upper body strength. My next to oldest daughter is like built like a little sprinter, track sprinter. So she hop on that wall, climb up the wall, and like it ain't nothing. But my oldest gets up on the wall and she keeps falling off. Talking about, oh, my hands hurt, and, and then she's not confident when she's stepping, and she's taking too long, and that's why her hands are wearing out, because she's taking too long to make a decision, because she's not confident in herself. And finally, after trying about 4 or 5 times, she comes over and sits down beside me, and she starts talking about how she wants to climb the wall, but then she starts making all these excuses. She says, well, Daddy, maybe I'm just too big. Maybe my arms are too long and I'm not strong enough. And I said, well, I guess you won't climb the wall then. You got all the reasons why you won't do it, then you won't do it. I said, do you want to climb the wall though? She said, yeah. Then I said, well, go and climb the wall. Then she starts talking about, but my hands like they start wearing out. I said, well, I guess you won't climb the wall then. I said, so do you want to climb the wall or not? Yeah. She comes up with some other excuse. I said, Jasmine, as long as you keep saying why you can't climb the wall, you can guarantee that you will not climb the wall. I said, until you make your mind up that no matter whatever situation you in or whatever your situation is, that you're going to climb the wall, you ain't going to do it. So I said, make your mind up before you go over there. I said, climb the damn wall. Make your mind up. She said, okay, Daddy. The girl got up there. She got about halfway across, fell off the wall again. Then she turned around, looked at me, and she gets back up on there. This time she gets halfway across. Her confidence starts to waver a little bit. She places her foot on there, but this time she gets all the way across the wall, completes the wall. Now, of course, she's excited. She comes back over there. We're getting ready to leave, and she asks me, hey, Daddy, can I go and climb the wall one more time? And then she goes and zooms across it this time like it ain't nothing. So the moral to the story is several things. We talk about like working magic and stuff a lot of times. And what magic is greatly dependent upon is confidence. Confidence. And so if you've gone your whole life being told that the sum total of your existence is what you can see with your eyes, what you can taste, what you can smell, what you can hear, and what you can touch, then that is your reality. Therefore, magic does not exist, because your reality because you have accepted the reality of only your five senses, is what I'm trying to say. But once you're in a situation and you actually see something magical or miraculous happen, then you have the confidence to then go and work it more effectively and more more fluidly. When she climbed the wall the first time and realized her power, her potential was realized, and she then activated something in her where it's like, oh, I can go on back up there and do it again. All she had to do was just climb the wall one time. One time. And that little simple story about my daughter applies to your magical life. We don't really have anything else of substance for us to cling to other than our imaginations. Your imagination is endless potential. And when you look in the Bible and you read about the Lord, and you read in other passages, it'll say Elohim. El is power. Ohim makes it plural. So this is just endless power. So when you see Elohim and Lord, Lord means potential. These are referring to your imagination. Your imagination is the limit of your reality. Is the limiter of your reality. If you can't conceive something, I mean, this just ain't no NAACP if you believe you can achieve speech. No, this is real. This is what they are calling quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and all that. It's really an egotistical way of finally acknowledging that the things that have been in mythologies for millions of years, if we want to put a number on it, is actually valid. But you can't come out and say that these things are valid, so you have to create a whole science that's dealing with all these complicated terminologies and all these complicated machines and computers just to say that there is a world beyond what your five senses can detect. And that is where your power lies. Your power lies in your imagination, to your gumption, the audacity of you to even think that you can will something into reality that you cannot detect right now. That's why I say the Bible is a magical book, because when it gives the definition of faith, the evidence of things unseen, something hoped for, I can't remember the exact, that's talking about magic. If you can't see it, but you know that it exists, and it is coming into the world where you can see it with your five senses or observe it with your five senses, then you're talking about magic. So this is a way that you can teach metaphysics to your children. Your children are more advanced than you think they are, and they can absorb a lot more than you think they can. They just need to be introduced to certain things. Now, can you imagine? Some of y'all may have already, been hooked up at 10 years old and was already deep into, metaphysics and things of that nature. For me, I was doing metaphysical things, but I was not aware of such a thing as metaphysics. My daughter is aware. My daughter beneath her, my 8-year-old, is aware. So can you imagine at 8 and 10, and you're already aware of this stuff, that it exists? You don't have to stumble into it until, in your 30s. Can you imagine what they can become? I know some people, may not have children, and they just, they don't think, the children really matter and teaching them anything. It's just like, oh, it's just about destruction, and that's true, but your experience dictates your reality. My reality is that I got children, so I'm gonna teach those babies to the best of my ability. And whatever work that I can't get done to bring about the closing of this chapter that we're in, and the full opening of a new chapter, then I want to make sure that they are equipped to do it themselves. And I feel like it's a good start to introduce these concepts. So what I took that opportunity to do with Jasmine in the park was tell her, Jasmine, what you just did was work magic. I said, you could not climb the wall at first because you had not decided to climb it. I said, magic is using your imagination to create your reality. I said, you made your mind up that you were going to climb the wall, and you were determined, and you built the courage up to do it, and then you climbed it. I said, you just worked magic, baby. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And really, really, children are easier to teach sometimes than an adult. Once your child who has less fetters, less ropes tying them down to this world is introduced to something, they don't have as many roadblocks telling them, oh, that's some bullshit. That's pseudo, and less ego trying to prove that what you're saying is not right and it doesn't line up with what well so and so didn't say that and they didn't say it that way and oh, he's not ready yet. Things of that nature. Your child doesn't have all that bullshit. They just like, oh yeah, you mean that stuff we watched on the Disney movie? We can do something like that? Oh, I got to go and try this, Daddy. And because they have that freedom and liberty in their minds, they'll show you how to really work some magic. If you go back and get that old there's an old episode of the Twilight Zone called The Big Tall Wish. You might be able to find it on YouTube. You need to go and watch. This is from like 1963, I think. The episode is called The Big Tall Wish. And the little boy says, it was magic, Bowley. I had to make the big wish. I had to make the big wish. And then Bowley kept telling the little boy, oh, you out of your mind. That's foolishness. And the little boy kept saying, please, Bowley, excuse me, don't say that, Bowley. You have to believe, Bowley. You have to believe. If you don't believe in the magic, it won't work. So I want to encourage you, whoever may come across this message, to climb the wall. Make your mind up. Why do you think you have walls in the Bible? Mentioning of the wall. You even got the concept of Rapunzel lets her hair down so homeboy can climb the wall, scale the wall. These are metaphysical stories. Climbing Jacob's ladder. The wall is you. The wall is you. And your climb up the wall is the staff that the serpent in the wilderness that turns into a staff for Moses. That is you climbing up the wall. And the greatest story that you're going to ever find out existed was you. We've done all of this work. We've done all of this digging. We've had all these great scholars come before us, and they have all done a great and mighty work to get us to the point, and that's a key word, point. Point denotes focus. Point denotes laser accuracy. All power merged into one single existence, a point. They have laid the foundation for us to come to a point, for us to come to the realization that the story was all about us. It's all that ever existed. Even the story of your enemies was only a story about you. They were created only to help you write your story. What good is a story that does not have a villain that has to be overcome? Think about it. Some of the things we put so much effort into about, trying to figure out a better way to maintain the fairy tale or the fairyland that we're in, that we created, that we forget that we actually are living inside of a story. Now, that's not to say that you're not supposed to, do the things necessary to survive within the construct of the story that you wrote. You wrote the script. I mean, you got to act out the script. But, all actors and actresses, you know, credit cards, cars, CD players, all these different things. Beautiful story, all types of twists, all types of, ups and downs and crescendos and so forth. But we're now towards the end of the story. How do we know we're towards the end of the story? Because we are aware that we're in a story. The mere fact that you come to a point where you know that you're in a story, that's when you know it's time for the story to wrap up. They got all types of beautiful, beautiful productions that explain this. Excellent. You wouldn't imagine. These children's movies, they are another great way to introduce metaphysics to your children. Now, I know all the stuff about Walt Disney, pedophilia, and all the different, things we've learned about the man, how they, put subliminal messages in the movies. Right. Well, I'm going to tell you what, subliminal messages are all around you. They're on your food packaging. They're on the billboards on the highway. You got dentists now, this new thing called mint dentists, and all they do is advertise about being sexy. I'm like, hold up. Now, this is supposed to be about your teeth. All they talk about is have a sexy smile. And they nothing about oral hygiene, nothing about oral care. It's all about a sexy smile. So everything is full of innuendo and subliminal messaging. But if you sit down with your babies and you look at the stuff together and you go and pick it apart, then you take feces and you turn it into fertilizer. Now I'm gonna tell you a one movie of a great many that you can watch with them, and they can learn some metaphysics. Is a movie called Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph is living inside of this whole world inside of a video game, and Ralph's only purpose was to destroy things. And his nemesis is a little happy little fella called Fix-It Felix. And basically, they're the nemesis. They're the antagonists of each other in the way the game was designed. But what had to happen was, by the end of the movie, they had to fight together to overcome a rogue program. Listen, a rogue program that was created named Turbo. And Turbo had created a little alternate world. This is all going on inside of something that's already been created, a video game. Let me put the phone down, going through the school zone. All of this stuff is going on inside of a video game. Okay? So you can sit and watch that movie, which your children will love it. You can sit and watch that movie with them. Hell, you could let a teenager watch that. If you can explain to them what's going on, it'll get their attention, because they can see things in there that are going on in the world that they haven't paid attention to. But that's a great way to explain to your child the illusionary world that we live in, that is called Maya. That's called glamour. So we got all types of things at our disposal, and just the mere fact that we have these things at our disposal lets us know where we are in the time continuum. We are almost there. I have had all types of revelations, here lately. I mean, I just wish, I'm not going to wish, I have more time. I have more time to unfold these things. I'm just creating my reality. I have more time. And, one thing I want to make a habit of on my little post is I'm going to throw this shit in here because it's a ritual and I want you to participate in it and manifest this. I have a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. I have a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. One more time. I have a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. And my time is controlled by me. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. Anybody got any questions you want to throw out? Real quick, before we get off here, I'm heading to the gym and do me some cardiovascular work. Still working on this breath, circulating this breath, the divine essence. Class is coming up. New class is coming up in February. It'll be up on the site here in a few days. The 72 Wise Words of God. So you can go and sign up for the class soon, here in a few days at mastersofthecosmos.com. Oh yeah, subscribe, share these videos. What else I need to say? That's it. Nobody else? Nobody got anything they want to talk about? Then I might get back on here maybe later on today after I get done working out. Who knows? But until then, the wisdom of Solomon. Oh yeah, without a doubt. I actually got I got some stuff at home, some excellent stuff on Solomon, and but of course, Solomon is really talking about your own mind. But I'm gonna tell you something about that. You got the Song of Solomon in the Bible. Now, when you start really getting into studying Solomon, and especially look at Solomon's relationship with Queen Sheba, what you're now getting a glimpse of is Sufi knowledge. Especially when you read, he had 72 words of demons. Right. He tamed, he captured the 72 demons in his signet ring. That was part of the reason I chose 70. 72's got a whole lot of meaning. 72 conspirators are set. 72 Goetia. 72 wise elders. 72 is 7 and 2 is 9. That's a revolution. You got 72 names of God. You got 108 names of God in Hindu. You got 99 in Islam. All of those add up to the number nine. And number nine uh, really is a zero. And zero is a cipher. And cipher comes from the word cipher. And cipher is where we get Sephiroth. Sephiroth, Sephirah on your Kabbalah. So all of these, so you got Kabbalah, all of these things are wrapped into one. You've got Kabbalah, you've got Sufism, you've got Gnosticism. They're all rolled into one thing. Now, what is the love? Wait a minute. What is the love that that is spoken of in the Song of Solomon and the Sufic text? The love that is being discussed. This is how you know everything is everything. The love that is being expressed is the love between you and your divine nature. Now, in the Ten Commandments, when it says love thy neighbor as thyself, understand that your neighbor is talking about your soul. And when you look at these Sufic texts, and it's these expressions of love, the Song of Solomon, don't look at me, I am black and comely. This is so the love that is expressed in uh, the text is the divine love of your own nature. And what's ironic is that when you hear people talking about destruction, that is the same thing as what is being described in those Sufic texts when they're talking about love. Now, a way to understand it is to look at nuclear fusion. When two atoms collide, you have what? You have an explosion. So the love that is being expressed in the Sufi text is the love between the nature that has been separated within your own being. And when that comes back together, it creates this nuclear-like power. And that nuclear-like power, or not like, but the power that, the true nuclear power, is what is the agent of destruction. And of course, destruction is not, go out, I'll huff and puff and blow the house down. It is closing out one chapter. It is eating food and digesting it so that you can extract the nutrients and then go on to do something else. That's what we mean by destruction. In Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel in the Bible, his higher self speaks to him and says, eat this word, take it and eat it. And he said, oh, it tastes as sweet as honey. So when you eat, it means to destroy something. It means murder. So when you read the Bible and you see stuff about, oh, they were eating their babies and this and that, don't believe that shit literally. When I hear people talk about those things in a literal fashion, it's like I want to give them a bottle of milk. I want to give them some baby food because they're looking at it in a baby perspective. None of that stuff in there is literal. These fools be debating over what's in that book. It's not debatable. There's nothing to debate. The book is a book of allegory. It's a book of magical incantations. It's a book of numerology. It's a book of astrology. It is not a book that you debate about. That's the first way you know either somebody's full of shit or they don't know shit. So, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up. I need to get in here and burn some kali that they call calories. That's some kalis. I'm about to go and do about, I'm gonna do about 40, 45 minutes. Let Kylie get hers. You know, breathe in some of this divine prana, or what Ralph Smart get some of this, breathe in some of this good ass prana. So I'm gonna get off of here. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and remember, stay down until you get up, and when you get up, stay down. Peace.